tend to suffer more in our mind than we do in reality. You know, we tend to beat ourselves up in our mind significantly more than we actually do in reality. We're thinking about, oh, what if this doesn't work out? What if this doesn't go this way? What if this doesn't go that way? What if I don't become successful? What if I don't do this? What if I don't do that? When I challenge you guys to switch your mindset, switch your perspective, all it takes is a switch in your mindset and your perspective for you to change your life. All of a sudden, you look at the glass instead of as half empty, you look at it as half full. Instead of you looking at it as what if this doesn't happen, you look at it as what if it all works out. And I challenge every single person that this video has touched and found for you to change your life one mindset flip at a time.
Point, baby, do what I could, baby. Point, baby, do what I should, baby.
DV Academy, what is going on, man? It is your host, Daylon, also widely known as King Lon. And I don't know if anyone else is going through this right now during this time, but I can definitely feel a transition coming on. And when I say a transition, I just mean evolution within your spirit, your soul, your energy, and everything that you have going on within your life. Bro, this ain't never walked this far, but as soon as I start recording, bro, when I walk over here, you see his blurry in the back. But, hey, but back to the message. I have been personally feeling super emotionally and spiritually drained. And I don't know if anyone can relate. I don't know if it's something in the air. I don't know if it's just me. But I feel like usually when I have some type of feeling, most people out in the world are feeling this way as well. And I just not have been feeling like myself. I've been feeling a little off is the best way to put it. I haven't had as much energy as I usually have. I haven't had as much tenacity as I usually have. I just haven't felt like myself lately. Like I'm usually a person it's easy for me to get up. It's easy for me to get going. It's easy for me to consistently do the things that I need to do, such as work out, eat healthy, create certain things and bring those visions and aspirations to life. But as of lately, it has been extremely challenging. Now, I'm a person to where I don't like to claim things as hard in my life. I don't like to say something is hard in my life because me personally, I don't like hardship. You know, if I had a choice, any of the hardships that I've ever faced in my life, I would choose to opt out of them respectfully. But I know those certain hardships are in our life to be able to create the certain life that we see for ourselves. Now, I do believe everything happens for a reason and there are no coincidences, just like whoever is watching this video right now, you guys are seeing this video for a specific reason. And I just don't feel like myself. And I feel as if whenever we are going through these periods, maybe every 4 to 6 months or maybe at least once a year, I go through these transitional periods where my energy and my spirit just feels a little low. And then all of a sudden I snap out of it, you know, and I feel like during this time around, this is going to be my most transformative energy deficit into a catastrophic change. You know, I feel like a caterpillar right now transitioning into the highest and best version of myself, just regaining my frequency, regaining my energy, regaining my focus. And one thing that I always do whenever I feel like this, which as you guys can see, is get into nature. You know, I love to get into nature. I love to do grounding exercises. As you guys can see, I'm currently doing my grounding exercises right now where I completely get in touch with nature. I hug trees. As you see, I have a few trees around me, both sides. I like to hug trees. I like to do grounding exercises where I go completely barefoot in God's creation, which is nature, and I just walk the grass. I let the sun hit me. I usually sunbathe, you know, I take off my shirt and I just lay in the sun, you know, get that recharge that we need. And sometimes when we are feeling off, it could be a lack in being in tune and in alignment. And that's what I simply feel like. You know, if you're somebody that is going through a transition in your life where you are wondering, why don't I have these things that I want for myself? Why don't I already possess these things that I see within my future self? And it already is within you if you're already having that questioning, because that means there's already an alternate reality that version of you already has the characteristics, the morals, the values, the possessions, anything that you are aspiring to obtain right now in your current reality. There is a reality of you that already has those things. I've learned that early on when it comes to our spirit and quantum physics and astral projecting, that whenever we have this innate desire to want more, there was already a version of us out there in a different plane that already has those things. And we just must align our frequency on the same frequency as that person that has that. Does that person have attitude change frequently? Does that person not able to control their temper? Is that person not able to respond to certain things that happen in your life? Is that person reactive or responsive when certain things happen in your life? And I just feel like I know I'm not the only one going through this. You know, I made this video in hopes to find my people that if you're feeling some type of energy deficit out of the blue sky, to me, that is a clear sign that you are on your way transitioning from one past life into another. In order for something to come to life, like this dream reality that you want, something must die. And I feel as if it is our past life, our past characteristics, or this current reality that is hanging on for dear life. You know, all the things that you are working on leaving behind, whether that's your inconsistency, whether that's your lack of discipline, whether that's your lack of, I don't know, a gym routine, anything that this next version of you already has, you're trying to leave that behind. And it is such an energy grabber because that version of you that you were trying to kill off and rebirth into this new one is literally dying off. Like I said, in order for something to be born into new, this past version of you must die off, you know? Nothing changes if nothing changes, and I live by that quote. If you don't put in the actual work and time and dedication you need to in order to change your life, how do you expect for God to be able to just hand you this life that you want? Put in the work, put in the consistency, put in the discipline that you need in order for you to change your life. Because when you come to the realization that only us are in charge of our life, there is nobody else to blame based on your own choices. Nobody told you to make those choices that you made. Nobody forced you to make those choices that you made. You made those choices on your own. And that means you need to lock in and focus on that transition that you are having right now, this low energy. Take advantage of it. Like, it took a lot of courage for me to make this video because I was in such a low energy funk. Now, this may be a man thing. You know, I doubt this has anything to do with gender because supposedly there are some studies out there that men go through something called their period, right? Which is a male period, to where at least a week out of every month, we go through this transition of we don't know what's wrong with us as men, you know? We don't know what's going on. The world may have had its way with us. It's beating us up. And we're just in our head a lot, you know, and we tend to suffer more in our mind than we do in reality. You know, we tend to beat ourselves up in our mind significantly more than we actually do in reality. We're thinking about, oh, what if this doesn't work out? What if this doesn't go this way? What if this doesn't go that way? What if I don't become successful? What if I don't do this? What if I don't do that? When I challenge you guys to switch your mindset, switch your perspective, all it takes is a switch in your mindset and your perspective for you to change your life. All of a sudden, you look at the glass instead of as half empty, you look at it as half full. Instead of you looking at it as, what if this doesn't happen, you look at it as, what if it all works out? And I challenge every single person that this video has touched and found for you to change your life one mindset flip at a time. You know, it takes a certain individual to be able to really calibrate the belief systems that we were brought up on and changing them as we get older and older. And as you get older and older, you tend to learn, okay, does this belief system that I believed when I was a child, when I was a younger adult, does this actually still serve me? If it does not serve you, then it's not going to help you grow. Therefore, you must let it go. In order for you to grow into this new version of yourself or unlock this ultimate version of yourself that you have always been, you just are now possessing the right tools in order for you to sculpt yourself into that person. You must align yourself with the right mindset, the right characteristic, the right values, the right habits. Studies showed that it takes at least 21 days to build a new habit. What is a habit that you are going to build that highest version of yourself already has? And I challenge you guys to do some deep self-work. I think a lot of us lack self-dialogue to where we just expect the answers to pop out of nowhere and we don't actually ask our flesh, what is it that we need? What is going on? What are we feeling? Are we okay today? Are we doing good today? Have we healed from this past experience? Have we healed from that past experience? And just being more in tune with yourself, I promise you will unlock a whole new version of yourself. And like I said in this video earlier, it took a lot of courage for me to make this video because I have been unaligned for some weird reason. Now, I have a lot of spiritual people in my life and it may be in retrograde right now. I have a lot of spiritual friends and I haven't talked to them lately because I've been kind of just closed off, and they may consider this time a time of retrograde, you know, where we're going through a huge transition period where our certain aspects of our astrological chart may be in certain different houses, which may be causing this type of frequency energy deficit, I guess the best way to put it. Now, I'm a person that truly believes in what's for you is for you. And what's for us, guys, I promise you, will find you. We just must continue to align ourselves. And I just wanted to get on here and make this quick video that I know somebody is feeling like this, that you are just low energy. You just don't usually have what you usually have, or you never have been a person that has had a lot of energy or a lot of tenacity or anything like that to go out and accomplish the things you need to do. Now, again, I made this video in hopes to find my people and use this as your wake-up call. Use me as a testimony, because me going through my own leadership characteristics, I've always learned the best example you can give people when it comes to leadership is your own testimony, you know, and I want you guys to look at me as an example. I'm constantly molding my life for the better. I'm never going to be perfect, and I never want to be perfect. The only person that's perfect is God. And I know I am a mere reflection of God. That's why I continue to pour into the people that pour into me. I tell everybody, you are a god and a goddess. All my ladies that watching this, you are goddesses, you are queens. All my guys watching this, you are gods, you are kings. And in order for you to believe that, and in order for that to be your reality, you must believe that it is true, you know? And I just want to let you guys know you're not alone on this journey. And I just wanted to give some sense of relatability, you know, as I go through this transitional period in my life, to where the next time you guys talk to me or hear from me, I should be in higher spirits. And I pray that me being able to talk through my emotions through this video was able to help me relieve some of the energy that's been holding on, that's so heavy. You know, I want to feel light again. I want to feel blissful again. I want to feel prosperous again. And I noticed that your environment has a lot to do with it. If you are in a household, or if you are in a constant environment to where you're not, there are constantly things around you that are bringing down your frequency, do your best to not only get into nature, but do your best to get away from that environment as often as you can. If you have a car, if you have a bike, or you have legs that you can walk, or if you can just get outside and get away from this environment, do it every day. Get away from your toxic environment if you are living in a toxic environment as often as you can, because I promise you, it is contributing more to your decline than it is your incline in your life, guys. I promise you. So again, I wanted to keep this video short and quick. If this video serves you any good, guys, leave a like, leave a comment, share it as much as you can. Don't forget to subscribe. This has been DB Academy. It is Daylon, or also known as King Lon, as your host. We're back with another informational, educational, and inspirational video. And I'll post again, keep you guys posted. And I will continue to post more videos for you guys as often as I can. Love you guys, stay safe, and may you guys continue to elevate on your journey. Peace.